Hey guys, Bushra here. I have another review for you guys. This one is a long time coming. I promised you guys this review when I did my Sephora VIB haul because I picked up this guy, and I know there's fingerprints all over it. I'm sorry. But this is the Hourglass Ambient palette. And I wanted to test this out and see how it compares to the other Hourglass Ambient palette. They're both Ambient palettes. And one is volume 4, which is this one, and then this one is Lighting Edit Unlocked. So I wanted to put it to the test, see what was the difference, see if either one is worth the money, because these are pricey items. I believe they're each $80. But in all fairness, you do get 6 shades in here, as you see with the Edit 4 or Volume 4, Lighting Edit Volume 4, and then 6 shades with this one, Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked. And I will go ahead and try to insert swatches on my skin tone, and I was really trying to figure out which one would be best for olive golden undertones. That's kind of where I'm at with my skin tone. So, and then I also wanted to kind of compare these to the OG, which I have to bend over here, sorry. The OG palette. Shout out to those of you who remember this guy. I don't even know. I think it's been 4 years since they've had this one, right? Because this one is volume 4, right? The purple one. So I'm assuming it's been 4 years since they launched their very first palette, which back then, this was, oh, I don't remember. Was this $60 or $80? I can't remember, but only 3 shades in this one. And you would not believe it, but I have actually used these so much that one of them is starting to crack. But this one is just the Ambient Lighting Palette Lumiere, and 3 shades in this one. So yeah, I wanted to go ahead and see if we were to compare all three of these together and see if it's worth buying these guys. If you have the OG, you know, let's see if there's a I don't know if the formula is the same or if the colors are the same. So I don't think it's picking up on camera, but in person I can tell that actually I went ahead and tested these out on my skin. Obviously, who else's skin would I have? But I have the purple one, volume 4 on this side, and I have the Unlocked on this side. So this might be a limited edition. I don't know. I've seen both at Sephora still. They both are selling at Sephora.com. I'll link it in the description box down below. But yeah, this side is this. I don't know if you can tell. I can tell, like I said, and even when I application, I could tell a difference, and this is this side. So, break it down for you. What you get in the volume 4, across the top, you get finishing powder, dim light, you get finishing powder, diffuse light, and you get strobe powder, euphoric strobe light. And then across the bottom, you get bronzer, filtered bronze light. That's the bronzer. And then blush, luminous glow, and then the strobe blush, euphoric fusion. The brown one, you've got across the top the finishing powder, soft light, finishing powder, filtered light. Bronzer is the golden bronze light. Blush is the nude glow. Blush is Mood Flush, and the last box over there, number 6, is Metallic Strobe Powder, Champagne Strobe Light. So that's that one. Now, when you compare it to the OG, a lot of it's missing, though I can't even read or make out what it's saying, but it is dim light, incandescent light, and radiant light. So which one has that? soft light, filtered light. This one does not have that. And dim light and diffuse light. Dim light and diffuse light, that's in here, the same. And I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So dim light is number 1. I think that's dim light. Dim light is this one. And then in the volume 4, dim light is number 1. This one is dim light, this one is dim light. So they look like they're the same, same color, same kind of look. Everything looks the same. Let's swatch it out. Okay, so on swatching, there is a slight difference in the color, just slight. Again, I've had this guy, the old OG, for 4 years, so it's gonna come across, I think, a little different because it's just been sitting. You know, I haven't been using it or anything, so it's gonna be a little bit of a different color. But I was curious to see like if there was a difference. But now comparing the two, I would say I actually prefer the way the volume 4 dim light comes across. So I do prefer that. Now I want to break down what I've done on this side of my face and what I've done on that side, and then I'm going to talk about the big differences. So here I've used all the setting powders, or I guess, you know, the dim light and diffuse light. I use that to set under my eyes, around, like in my T-zone, kind of brighten up everything. And then I used the bronzer, which I really like this bronzer. The highlighter is over here, but the bronzer, it's a little bit more warmer than the other one. I do like it how it blends in with the blushes. The highlighter is really the big difference, to be honest, for me. This highlighter is very natural. It's, as you can see, it's just a hint of a highlight, nothing too bam in your face, but it's a subtle glow and it's melting into my skin. There aren't any like patches where it looks dry. It doesn't look cakey, it doesn't look powdery. It looks really airbrushed, to be honest, that side. And then also with the blushes, what I did was I kind of did a Charlotte Tilbury swish and pop sort of thing. So I used this color and I put it all over my cheek, and then I went in with a lighter, brighter shade and popped it on the top of my apples, cheek apples. Apples of my cheek? Something like that. Yeah, so I did that for this side. So yeah, as you see, it's very natural, and it's kind of a cherry mauve-y color, which I really like that blush. Now to switch it to the other side, which is this guy, just to break down what I did the same thing. I used both the finishing powders, these two, and I set my under eye, set my T-zone, and both powders look great. The only thing I did notice in this one is this powder, it has a little bit of an orangier undertone, and I feel like it kind of, I don't think you guys can see that, it brightened up my under eyes, I feel like, a little bit more so than the other side. I don't know if you guys can tell a difference. I'm trying to look in my monitor, but I can't tell a difference in the monitor. But up close, I feel like this side, which is this guy, this side is a little bit brighter under my eyes, especially like right here compared to that side. So that's the setting powder. Then the bronzer is really interesting. This one, let me slow it down before I'm getting too excited. When I compare this bronzer to this bronzer, they both have a little bit of glitter, but this one has less glitter than this one. I actually don't mind the glitter. It's not a chunky glitter by any means, but the other thing that I did notice between the bronzers is this bronzer is a little bit more matte, but with chunky glitter. And then the number 4 version bronzer has a more glowy kind of bronzy look, and it's not picking up in camera as much as I can tell in person. This just looks more matte, and it has a little bit of a cooler undertone, this one, than this one for the bronzer. I personally I actually like both the bronzers. They have a little bit of a different look. If I was to pick one of the bronzers, I would probably pick the bronzer from this one and put it in here. But I'm not mad at that bronzer by any means. And I think the reason why they made this more matte and this one more sheeny is because they kind of trade off with the highlighter. So this one has a really natural highlighter, and so the bronzer is a little bit more glowy. This one has a more natural matte-ish bronzer, but a damn good highlighter. And that's what I'm going to talk about next, because that highlighter is beautiful. It is a little bit more than a natural highlight, but it's gorgeous. And I think that it would look great for the holidays. It looks, I mean, and there's no, it's not grabbing onto any, you know, little face hairs that I have peach fuzz or any cracks. It's not really emphasizing my texture in my skin. It looks amazing. So I really like that highlighter. And then again with the blush, what I did was I did the same thing that I did to this side, which was I took the darker color and I put a nice wash of it all over my cheeks to kind of blend into the bronzer. And then I took this, which is like a cheek topper. It's very faint for me. It's got more of a glow. It's kind of, it reminds me a lot of NARS Orgasm for my skin tone. And I just popped that on the top of the cheeks of my cheeks. I just popped that on the top of the apples of my cheeks there. So those are the two palettes on my face. One, I'm struggling to open this guy back up. Like I said, try not to break or poke these guys. Like I said, this one is on this side and this one is on that side. And I'll insert swatches, but if I was to pick one, oh my gosh, they're both beautiful. For deeper skin tones, I think this is better. And I say that because the blush shows up a lot more pigmented on this one, and the highlighter as well. I feel like if I was any darker, that half of these shades would not show up on me if I was darker. Like the highlighter wouldn't show up. The powders, I'm not really like, I'm not impressed with these highlighters, or not highlighters, setting powders. I'm more impressed with this just because I think of that orange undertone is perfect for my skin tone. So I'm glad I did this comparison because I got to see what, you know, what's the difference between these two, what the difference is between these and the original. The original only has one that this one has. So if you guys have the original, I still think that it's worthwhile trying these out. They are, again, very expensive, $80 per product, but you are getting 6 pods, and I guess it's quite a bit of product. And like I said, I've had the OG one for 4 years, and I used it for at least 1 year every day for my under eyes. Like I set this, actually I used one of them as my highlighter because it has a little bit of a shimmer. So Hourglass products last a long time. So I think, you know, for the holidays, I think you guys should definitely try this out. Lighter skin tones, try out the purple one if it's still available. Deeper skin tones, try out the Unlocked palette and see what you guys think. But yeah, I really like the way my skin looks. I feel like it looks flawless. I look airbrushed, and the powders are really nice. So yeah, I think both of these are great. Like I said, lighter skin tones would probably do better with this one. Deeper skin tones would probably do better with this one. But yeah, I think they're great holiday gifts. I think they're worth a try. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I've got a lot of things I want to review, but there are so many new launches. So if you guys have any ideas or any requests, let me know in the comment section down below. Hit that notification bell and subscribe button and give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.